Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Sleepy Shotgun and welcome back to my channel. Now, before we start this review, if you have not seen episode 13 of Haikyu to the top, I suggest you click off the video, go watch the anime, come back, and then we'll watch the video. Alright, cool? You clicked off? Alright, let's start the review. So the episode begins with Karasuno going over their game plan for Inarizaki, which is the second team that they're facing in the Nationals. What I love about this sequence is it showcases how well prepared Karasuno is going into each and every game. They go over everyone's strengths and weaknesses and how they're going to counter each of those. And then, for example, I think Ojiro Aran was one of Inarizaki's best scorers, and the game plan was to kind of treat him like Ushijima, who, when firing on all cylinders, is someone that you need to make difficult. You might not be able to stop him every single time, but you definitely want to shut him down as much and just make every attack that he makes really difficult. I want to take a moment to highlight when Hitoka actually states that Karasuno actually is unlucky that they're facing the number 2 seed in Inarizaki, which then transitions into Hinata saying how lucky they are to be able to play the best. And it just showcases how excited he is to beat competition and the confidence he has within himself and his teammates. Because in his own ability, he's a freak of nature and he continuously wants to grow, and he lacks no confidence whatsoever, which is dangerous for other opponents because they'll realize that he's a threat no matter what, because he does not get discouraged easily. Hinata follows that up by even stating that he's excited to play the top 2 teams in this tournament, also alluding to the fact that they'll beat Inarizaki to move on to play Itachiyama. Kageyama decides to follow that up by saying, well, that's as long as Itachiyama makes it to or out of the bracket into the finals, which then begs the question of who's actually going to make it out of that bracket, and if they beat Itachiyama, does that make them a better team than Itachiyama? Hinata's unwavering confidence is one of the reasons why he's currently one of my favorite anime protagonists at the moment in time. Despite how straightforward and simple his goals are, he doesn't lack the conscious effort needed to go from good to great. He puts the time and the work in, and it's someone that you definitely want to get behind. Another highlight of the episode comes in the form of Tanaka and Kanoka's backstory. In this sequence, we see that Tanaka hilariously denies Kanoka's feelings even before she even gets an opportunity to admit them. Tanaka does get a taste of his own medicine as he sees her brother come visit her during this whole time. Now, Tanaka gets a taste of his own medicine as he hilariously sees her brother come visit her to drop off a lucky charm made by her mom. He then decides to make a comment about how handsome he is and then storms off. Kanoka then reacts by tearing up, stating that he might have, or she might have, been rejected at that moment in time. What I love the most about this backstory is that it showed Tanaka's supportive nature as a friend. It's been showcased throughout the series with his Karasuno teammates, and it's showcased in this backstory with him supporting Kanoka and basically putting her on a path to becoming a volleyball sensation. I mean, her team's in nationals, and she's a big key to that. That's all because of Tanaka. Everything he did for her. He instilled confidence and gave her encouragement, showed her that her height was a cool thing and not something to look down upon. She inadvertently returns the show of kindness that Tanaka has provided her over the years by letting him know how good she's become and to watch him. Tanaka is shocked and probably taken aback because this is someone that he supported and grew up with. He feels left behind, or he feels like he is the one being left behind. So this is also where their goals align, and that they both want to do well in nationals for their team, for those that have been with them throughout this entire venture. And because of that, it's going to be big time for Karasuno, because now we have a more focused Tanaka. Still has a chance with someone. These moments of characterization are always a welcoming sight, especially those outside of Hinata and Kageyama. It adds to an already diverse group and adds more depth to the characters. It shows their motivation, their struggles, and what their goals are. And it also shows the growth that they have as volleyball players and as human beings. Now let's move on to the main event between Inarizaki versus Karasuno. While Hinata and Kageyama are warming up, Atsumu Miya decides to greet Kageyama and then makes a bold statement stating that he does not like to play weak players and takes a look over at Hinata. Kageyama does hilariously agree, but then follows up with, "Don't worry, he's not weak," which just shows how competitive he is and he does not want to give an inch to a fellow setter. Another moment of characterization comes in the form of Sugawara mentioning to Asahi that Hinata doesn't get nervous before a game anymore. And if you remember an earlier episode, he would hilariously throw up in the bathroom or have to run in and take a dump or whatever the case may be. But he's finally understanding the joy and the excitement that comes with competition. What I loved the most about this episode, though, was the mind games that they were playing. Narizaki was showcasing how strong their attacks was, with the Mia twins showing that they both can set and spike. That's a scary sight to see if you're Karasuno. Kageyama and Hinata would not be outdone, though, as they showcase their freak quick that they become well renowned for. Also, can we please take a moment to realize how extra Inarizaki is? I mean, Atsumu Mia, did you really have to give them a death stare? Those two girls just wanted to support you, man. I get it. You need all the concentration in the world, but you screwed up the second serve anyways. But that's not to take away from anything that both teams were going to do. It seemed that nerves were getting to both of them, and this is just the beginning of the match. Both teams messed up a serve. Both teams had rallies, and we even got to see Hinata jump extra high and still miss the ball because he's testing how high he could jump. By doing that, Hinata inadvertently sent another message to Inarizaki showcasing that he's not afraid to try new things that he hasn't done before. The Mia twins took note that Kageyama isn't the only one that dances to the beat of his own drum. And this is exactly one of the reasons why Haikyu has become one of my favorite animes of all time. Because the production value does not dip. For some reason, they nail all the soundtracks whenever they decide to play one. And oh my god, just how smooth everything looks, and the voice actors they decide to hire. It's always on point, and I love every single moment of it. I'm extremely hyped to see the next episode, and I'm more excited to see how Production IG handles the animation behind it. To me, this is one of the defining moments in Hinata and Kageyama's career facing off against the Mia twins, and it's one of the best moments, or I guess the best matches that I've seen in the manga, and I can't wait to see it animated in the series. I'll give this episode a 4 out of 5. There was plenty of great characterization. The animation is always on point. The soundtrack was amazing. And I know that Haikyu has a standard that they reach, especially with Shira Torizawa, that when they get there, it blows your mind, and that's a 5 out of 5 right there. It's the only reason I'm giving this episode a 4 out of 5 is because of what they've done in the past and what I know that they're capable of doing. And we're in for a treat. This was one of my favorite matches in the manga, and I'm extremely excited to see what's to come. Okay, and I hope you guys are as well. Alright guys, that's been my review, and I hope you enjoyed it. So please leave me a like, comment down below, and let's interact. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'm an up-and-coming YouTuber that focuses on anime and manga content, So come join me for the ride. I plan on making more reviews, live reactions, and other anime and manga related content, so I hope you guys join me for the ride. Anyways guys, I've been Sleepy Shotgun, and until next time, sayonara.